G'day everyone, welcome back to Blue Abroad. It's your weekly dose of everything Carlton with a twist of humour. It's the Jumper Punch. I'm joined with my co-host, Rocco. How you diddling?
How you going, Dan, and all the viewers out there? Yeah, it's been good. It's been a big week in football. I don't want to steal someone else's phrase, but they did sack him last week, so I can use his phrase now. So, yeah, it's been a big week. We've had a footy match, which we've won. We've had a big announcement by the Blues who are going to stream a particular match this week. And also we've had a winner in our best and fairest. So, yeah, it's been a big week for the mighty Blue Boys.
Well, it's been like the never-ending story, hasn't it, our BNF? It's been a long time coming, but let's briefly touch on that. Jacob Guerin, I would say no Carlton fan ever would say he isn't a deserving winner. And I think it's shown his development, hasn't it? He's really gone from number one pick to now probably one of the number one picks in the team sheet week in, week out.
100%, man. There is no doubt he's a deserved winner. The old Wheats, man, we love him, man. We love what he does in defence. Yeah, definitely. And as you said, I don't think anyone can disagree with that decision. If you look out through the year, he should have been in the All-Australian. And, yeah, definitely a good winner and a good top 10 and an interesting top 10 because there was a couple of people who dropped down the list where you would never expect it, yeah?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it's probably vindication for Jacob as well because Kane Corn said that he wasn't a number one pick and wouldn't become a good player. So always nice to stick one up to Cornsey as usual. But I thought another interesting one as well was old Patrick Cripps, just inside the top 10, which 8 players were voted by the coach better than him, which I think is a promising sign for the football club. A lot of opposition fans, a lot of pundits say Carlton are a one-trick pony with Paddy Cripps. Proven last season that he wasn't at his best, we know because of injury, but it's showing that we have got players that are willing to put in shifts while he's not at his best, which is only promising for the moving forward.
It's a good thing, man. This is a good thing, man, that he's up there, in the top 10, but he's not one of our best. And if you look, up there, man, there's a lot of young players. You got Wiedering, you got, Walsh, and we had, I actually got them written down here. Who else did we have? We had Jack Martin was up there, and there was a couple of old blokes. Kate Simpson made that top 10, but it's good to see that the young brigade are starting to take control, man, and this is exactly what we wanted.
Well, I mean, if you're going to push for finals, you can't be a one-trick pony, can you? So, I mean, I've never thought Carlton rely too heavily on Patrick Cripps post-2018. So I think it's good to see it validated in the voting. And it's only more exciting, I think, for 2021, Cripps returning to full strength, knowing that we've had a year where other guys have had to really up their game to compensate for him only playing effectively with one arm for the whole year.
100%, man. And Patrick Cripps is no different to anyone else, man. And he should now be looking, man, he wants to regain that top position again. It's time for him to lift. Because at the end of the day, last year wasn't his best year, and he would admit that himself, So hopefully he comes out this season, 3 weeks' time, and really imposes himself and wants to get that top position again, mate. And come on, mate, we can do this.
Well, I mean, it's exciting times, and we also get to see the beloved boys run out against old enemy 11 a.m. on Thursday morning, which will be live streamed for members. Yes. So if you haven't got your membership, get in fast, get to see that against the old enemy. Sard lines up against his old boys. And it should be exciting, shouldn't it? Because we've got a few injuries we know that we're nursing. Mm-hmm. So the first chance for a few players to put their hand up for round one.
Yep, this is exactly what these practice matches are for these players who just on the fringe. Maybe there's an injury, maybe they get their chance. Man, you don't get many chances in footy. You don't get many chances in life, man. You've got to take them. So hopefully they can. And yeah, I'm telling you, Carlton were just on the brink of copying Rocco's rant because of this screaming, but they come through. And yeah, so on Thursday, if you got your membership, if you haven't, get your membership because yeah, we can see the Blues firsthand Thursday, 11 a.m.
Should be an exciting time. And what I'm looking forward to is discussing the girls. Like you say, we've just got off the back of the big game against Richmond. It was the Carlton Respects game. And obviously, Carlton versus Richmond games are traditionally a nail-biter. And the girls did it again, didn't they? That first quarter start put them under a lot of pressure. Obviously, they showed a lot of character and a lot of heart to pull it back. But let's discuss that, because that seems to be a problem with the men and the females. It seems to be the starts aren't quite there. So let's try and digest what we think it is. I know what I think it is, but I'd love to know, where do you see it, Rocco?
Yeah, it's definitely a trend that we keep doing, and as you said, through the men and the women, we just don't seem to get that start, or we get that 4 or 5 goal run and we can't stop it. And I still believe, which I've always been like firm on this, it's leaders. You know, we haven't got those leaders on the ground in the right times to just control the game. Maybe not wait for the coach to do something, you know, take the lead and do something. So that's what I'm thinking happening, because if you notice, they come in at quarter time. I think Harford would have given them a nice little word there. He said that he just quietly said, just get to the ball first or something. Yeah, so, but they needed someone to tell them. So I'm thinking it's just leaders, man. There's something wrong there that no one's taking that lead.
I think you could be onto something. I mean, my personal feeling is, as I listen to what the club say, and there seems to be a lot about our brand. Teague says it, Harford says it, the Carlton brand, the Carlton way of playing football. And I look at Richmond 2016 and 2015, and they had a brand, but their brand didn't work. But they stuck to their brand. I sometimes think the players seem to be stuck in a place of how to impose that brand. And it seems that they start very tentative, particularly the girls. They kind of feel the opposition out, where you watch a Richmond, you watch a West Coast Eagles play in the men's, you watch Adelaide play, or you watch a Collingwood play this year. They have their brand and they look to impose it early and say, we're playing this way, you're coming with us. So it kind of feels like Carlton need that arse kicking to suddenly say, shit, what do we do? Okay, we're going to have to play our brand. Because when our brand plays, particularly with the girls, and we saw it last year with the men, it seems to be move it quickly, move it through the corridor and attack 50 early. And it's when that works, it's very hard for teams to keep up with us, as the second quarter showed in this game.
100%, man. You see the way when they play, mate, they look slick. When they play the way they want to play, they look slick. They take control of the game. But again, they had a bad start. They can't keep doing this. They're going to find themselves in trouble, you know, and they did in those first 2 rounds, you know. But in saying that, they that second quarter, they really got stuck into it. And, they hit the lead after that second quarter, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird second quarter to watch after the first quarter, wasn't it? Because the first quarter was kind of just holding on. And we looked really sloppy. I mean, there was some exceptions. Maddie was quite clean in the first quarter. Egan came into it a little bit in the first, but outside of that, it looked real tentative and it looked like they hadn't arrived at the ground yet. It looked like they were still in a kickabout mode. But it was really physical, and I thought the second quarter they imposed that physicality a bit more. They looked to use the ball a bit sharper and really put Richmond under pressure, because that's one thing I said pre-game to you, that Richmond, once they get their tails up, they're very tough to beat, as they showed against Collingwood. But it's about letting them know their place, almost showing them that we don't respect you, we are a better side. And I thought the second quarter they really showed Richmond's weakness and showed the skill gap in the game.
They from the outside, they were getting the ball, they were hard at the contest. You saw a few incidences there. I think we're going to highlight one where they really imposed themselves And Maddie was great in defence, you know. So we definitely imposed ourselves in that second quarter and in that third quarter. There was another player there that really imposed herself, and about time. She was good, and then we held on, which was also good. I'm telling you, that game there, we had a bit of everything. So it was a really good game. I enjoyed it.
It was, for a neutral, I'd say that game was probably one of the more exciting games to watch of any form of this game. I thought what impressed me was, I was really impressed with Lalofi and Charlotte Wilson. Moody again as well. She was brilliant. I thought that they gave us the grounding, because I think what this girls' side has, particularly the second, third and fourth, is when they're under pressure and they're playing well, they have the ability to turn defence into attack very quickly. And it's once they've got their confidence up and they play that game, it's tough to beat, because we're always in a game. And it's hard to analyse this game as it is the men, because the girls seem to have an uncanny heart, an uncanny self-belief that the scoreboard doesn't matter and they can turn it round. And that is really exciting about these girls.
Really go forward fast once they got control of the game. So so really, really good, really good. I was impressed with the whole game.
It was a really good game. It was a game as well that I thought we showed a bit of maturity to see the game out as well, more importantly. And although it wasn't probably the most vintage performance, I thought the girls would get the job done by 3 or more goals, but they didn't quite get there. I thought it was impressive that they did see the game out in a circumstance where that was quite losable at one point.
At one point, maybe a couple of points. At the start, it was losable. And then near the end, that last quarter, really, Richmond had 2 or 3 chances there to hit the front, you know, and we held on. Some great defensive acts in the last quarter, especially one by Wilson, who I'm pretty sure it was Wilson who saved the ball on the goal line. And they had some chances there, but we held on. And that's what a good side does. We held on and we took the win. So, and a deserved win at the end of the day. Deserved win.
Well, I mean, we've mentioned a few names, so I suppose now's a good time to go through our quarter reviews and throw out some players. So we'll stick with the format. Pom will go first because there's been speculation I cheat. So there has been that speculation going about that you're just working off me, but we'll see how we go here. Let's go. Okay, so I mean, obviously the first quarter, as we touched on, we were under the cosh a little bit. So I mean, that kind of is reflected on my vote. So I went 3 votes Grace Egan for this one. 2 votes Moody. I thought she gave us first use, which I thought at some points was very important. And I gave 1 vote to Presparkis. I thought she did keep trying and she was always in everything. There wasn't many good moments, but there was enough for her to sneak the 1 vote.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. I went a little bit different. I definitely went 3 Egan. She had a complete game. She was really good. I went 2 to Hosking. I thought she started off well in that first quarter. Hill deserved a vote there in that first quarter. I thought she did some good little things there. So they were my 3, 2, 1 for the first quarter. I mean, Mimi Hill, she's back in the votes after last week's panning by you. It seems to be a common occurrence. Vescio got 1 vote in quarter 1 the week after she got abused by you as well. That's right. That's right. So, and that's what I thought. I thought she was okay. And like you said, with the Ruckman and what's her name now? I forgot the Ruckman's name. Moody. Oh, Moody. Yeah, she definitely deserves some votes maybe there. And Maddie also deserved a vote too, but I didn't think she had her best quarter. So there you go. I like this. A bit of controversy in the votes. I like it. It's good. Well, I mean, then we move on to quarter 2. I went 3 votes. The girl you just said you didn't vote for in the first. I gave Presparkis 3. Thought she was brilliant here. She was sensational probably throughout from this quarter. But I thought the second quarter, she really came into it. She took them 2 goals beautifully.
I thought she was the momentum shift and did what a superstar player should do. And that's when the team needs you, you're the catalyst.
Yeah.
And I thought that first goal she took, really, I saw it. It reminded me of Dustin Martin in the grand final of Richmond. As soon as that happened, there was a belief around all the players that something could happen. And I thought she deserves the 3. I'd give her 6 if I could do.
Yeah. I agree.
2 I gave to Guerin. So I was very impressed with her game. She really got the ball moving well. It was a good quarter as well for her. The 6 touches as well, the 4 marks. She was pretty much everywhere, and I thought it was hard to avoid her in this one. And I gave 1 vote to my girl. I love a bit of Lottie Wilson at the moment. I thought she was, when Richmond did threaten to transition the ball, she was there with the intercept. She was there spoiling and really setting it back into the attacking space. So they were my 3, 2 and 1.
I like them. Well, with the 3, really, you couldn't go past Maddie. She definitely, it was hard to, man. And not only that goal, and then she went back for the second goal, and she did what she should have done. You know, she went back, she kicked that goal, and that was excellent. Even in that first goal, what I liked was it Harris who handballed it to her? Who handballed it? Yeah, so she got the ball. She could have had a shot at goal. She didn't. She lowered her eyes in some sense. She's handballed 20 metres to the centre. Maddie kicks the goal. Big difference, man. Go for goal, you miss it, it changes the whole momentum. So that was good. So definitely 3. I gave 2 to my girl Hosking again. I think her playing against her sister in this quarter, her sister went off because that was another reason Maddie got those 3 votes, man. That tackle was superb, man. That's what I want to see, man. You got to make them hurt. And don't do anything that's too dangerous, but you got to make them hurt, and she did that. And the one, I went with you, Wilson. I thought she was a rock, you get it? She was a rock in defence, man. She was really good, man. So, 3, 2, 1, Maddie, Hosking, and Wilson.
I think the very good votes, like we say, Wilson, she's becoming a Jacob Wietering type presence, isn't she, down the back? She's stopping attack, and she's also launching attacks as well. Very important in today's game that when you're playing in that, particularly that centre-half back role, which she oscillated in a lot, of setting up defence to attack very quickly, and she does that remarkably well. Very good user as well when she gets the ball in her hand. So, good votes. I mean, Hosking, she was brilliant as well. I mean, a bit like Ed Kerno, isn't she? She kind of maybe goes underrated with what she does.
I was watching her closely just because of her sister kind of factor this week, and she was she was in a lot of she done a lot of important little things. I think those little tackles, little 1%ers. So I liked Hosking's game this week, and you'll see a constant thing in my votes with her.
I like it. And then we move on to quarter 3.
Big quarter.
It was a big quarter this. A lot of people were in line for votes here, but 3 votes is the first person even, to go from Rocco's stay at home to getting 3 votes and a quarter, and that is Darcy Vescio. 3 goals in this quarter, 4 touches, 3 marks. She was ever present, and she really was the catalyst for setting them up with a decent lead and really taking the steam out of Richmond's sails in this quarter. She was brilliant, I thought, and I couldn't look past her for 3. 2 votes in this quarter was Brazzale. I thought she was brilliant. She had 4 touches, 3 marks. I thought she was a brilliant link in the chain. A lot of the score launches came through her capable hands. I thought she looked like she was damaging, particularly on that left side. And I really enjoyed her attacking endeavour. I thought she's a name that doesn't often get talked about, but I thought she was brilliant this quarter. And Presparkis, 7 touches in this quarter. She was, again, another vital cog. I thought the Brazzale-Presparkis combination in this quarter allowed Vescio to do what she did well. So they were my 3, 2 and 1s.
100%, man. 3% Vescio, there's no doubt. She deserved 3 goals. 1 vote for each goal. Mate, she looked slick. She looked dangerous. She just caused havoc, man. She was so good. So definitely, yeah. And she's really, since she's got that stay-at-home vote, she's really improved. So good on you, Vescio. I gave 2 to Egan. I thought she had another good quarter. She had a good game. Egan is turning out to be a real gun for us, yeah. And 1 I gave to Maddie. Maddie deserved that 1 vote because again, she wasn't the best quarter, but she's always there and abouts, man, and she's not far from the vote. So yeah, I gave her 1 vote.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. I thought, yes, it's good as well that we had a dominant quarter and Presparkis wasn't the 3 votes as well. Exactly. I think that's, again, another reassuring thing that the other girls stepped up.
Exactly.
And then we go to the 4th, and the 4th, I thought this was a no-brainer, and I was shocked when I went through my votes. I've never voted for this girl before. That's 3 votes to Guerin Harrington, 7 touches, 2 marks down the back. Thought she was absolutely phenomenal, and there was times where, particularly the last 5 minutes, it looked like it was threatening to leave us. It was like an out-of-body experience, that last 5 minutes, but Harrington, she's becoming like Harrington and Edwards down the back. It reminds me of seeing Jones and Guerin. I just kind of feel a little bit safe knowing that they're down there mopping it up.
Yep. Oh, mate, she's good, and she's our captain. Well, she's our co-captain. Yeah, and she done what she had to do, man. No, she's a gun, man. I'm really happy with that vote there, yeah.
And 2 votes I gave to Grace Egan. I thought she only had the 4 touches, but she made the 1 important tackle when a man got away when a female got away from her. Big tackle she made there. I thought she was reliable. She also was that relief mark in the exit kick as well, and she used the ball well. She hit a target straight from that mark. Thought she was 2 votes. And the final vote of this week was Presparkis again. I thought Presparkis, again, was ever reliable. She just had the 4 touches, but 2 important tackles. She really kept the intensity there. And I enjoyed her game in the 4th quarter.
Yes, well, good votes. So Harrington too, but she has to be a special. I've got some special mentions here. So, but I gave 3 to Hoskings. I think she had another good quarter. I liked Hoskings' quarter. 2 to Egan. She just had well, you'll see. I think she was the best on ground. And I gave 1 special mention to Wilson, Maddie, and also Georgia G with that last goal. The way she took off. She played on and then she hit the target, mate. So she deserved a bit of special mention. But I gave 1 to Odia. I thought she had a good quarter there too. I thought she deserved 1 vote at least. So yeah, they're my 3, 2, 1.
I love it. And let's see how that correlates into the full game votes.
Yep.
So I went Presparkis 5. She got the votes. I thought it was the total game for me. Absolute complete masterclass from her. When you're getting that much of the ball, that many tackles, and also you managed to snag 2, it's hard to look past you for the max votes. Vescio, she got 4. I thought she was brilliant all game. She always looked to impact. Her forward pressure was good. I enjoyed her game. Egan 3, Harrington 2, and completing it, Charlotte Wilson with the sultry 1 vote.
All right. I like it. There's a little bit different to me, as always.
I love it.
There's some names. I gave 5 to Egan. I thought she had the complete game. I thought she was our most influential player on the ground. I gave 4 to Hoskings. As you can see by my votes, I thought she had a really good game. Then I gave 3 to Maddie. Now, controversial, you might think Vescio, but Vescio had a good quarter. I thought she went quiet again, but she did what she could do. But 2 votes is good. 2 votes is good in the 5, I think. And 1 to Wilson. Wilson was our best defender. Yeah, you could have an argument with Harrington too, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Egan, Hoskings, Maddie, Vescio, Wilson.
Sounds good to me. And let's have a look how that looks on the scoreboard. we look at the Yorkshire Pudding Trophy of Excellence, I'm calling it, and Maddie leads the way, 44 votes in my voting system. Egan second place, and Moody third with 14th, joined by a host of stars, G. Wilson, Hill and Vescio and Harrington, all within touching distance of the top three. And the Cabanossi Trophy of Rocco is looking very good. Presparkis leads the way with 40, but she's joined by a few names, all itching for second place. Egan 25, Hosking a new entry at 16, O'Day, G and Mackay, all in touching distance.
I like it. And look, Maddie's always going to be that favourite. She's always going to poll well, and it's up to everybody else to catch up. But there's a few there. There's Egan, Hoskins, as you said. They're all close enough that they can have a bit of a hit at that top. But Maddie's going to be hard to beat. Well,
I mean, it can happen because, like, if we look at it, Hosking, she got a lot of votes from you today. Yep. She shot up. She was tied 8th at the start of this show, so she's now straight into the top 3. So anything can happen. All it takes is Maddie to have a couple of bad games, and one of these girls could take it out.
100%, man. And this is the way we like it. We like to see an even spread of players there fighting for that top 3, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. So let's go on to the coaches' vote. So we've given Dan Arthur a bit this year, haven't we? We've given him a bit.
You don't get paid the big bucks and expect no criticism, especially from us at the Jumper Punch. We're going to give criticism. But this week, you're going to have to give him... I think last week he got some good votes, and I think this week he did the same. He started slowly, but I don't think it was all his fault in that first quarter. It was the girls. But as soon as he got out there at quarter time, he said something to them. He just moved them around a little bit. Taylor Harris started playing more around the ball. She started taking marks in the back there and linking up the play. And I thought he'd done a really good job. He spoke well after the game. He looks confident. Man, I'm going to give him... He's going to get an 8 from me this week. I reckon he's done a great job from where they were at quarter time.
100%. I gave him a 7.5.
Yep.
So just in between. I thought it was good. I mean, I still feel like the first quarter needs to be addressed. The girls need to go out with the same ferocity they obviously had in the second. But aside from that, he did what he had to do. Obviously, once the bounce happens, it's down to the players, and all he can do is what he can influence. And I thought he influenced what he could do. Brilliant masterclass after the first. The second was the perfect response. Gave him a big spray. So, I thought 7.5. That's what I want to see. If he does that every week, we'll win a flag.
We're winning most games if he does that every week. And I like his persona too, the way he just presents himself. He's calm. He knows what he's going to say. And he also speaks his mind. He's not scared to say that if he's not happy about something. So I like the way he's going about things. He's starting to like warm the cockles. Is that a phrase?
It is, yeah. It's a very English phrase, yeah. The old cockles, the art. I like it.
Oh, but then, well, that's it for the coach, yeah. But then we go to one of the other votes, which...
Yeah, and now the umpires' votes, the old umpires' votes. This was a tough one for me because it wasn't inconsistent. It was obviously they weren't paying the incorrect disposal or the drop in the ball. So I actually gave them a 7 because I didn't mind the game. I thought they let the game move. They let the game flow. There wasn't as many stoppages as probably I saw. So I didn't mind this.
Again, the way I judge the umpires is if I end up talking about them. Last week, we didn't really talk about them. This week there was a couple of instances that, again, this holding the ball, man, I just don't get it, man. Like, there was a couple of instances there, especially from the Richmond players, where they just let go of the ball. They were tackled and they just let go of the ball. Isn't that holding the ball? I don't understand. They're not paying it. Don't tell me they weren't in the right position, because I was watching. They were in perfect position. There was a couple little other incidences. I remember. I'm going to take away one vote away for every incident, and I'm going to give him, like, I don't know. I have to say a 5. I thought about it too much. I thought about the umpires too much. I didn't like their performance at all, man.
Rocco laying into the umpires.
I shouldn't be talking about them. I should be saying nothing about them. But again, like, just pay what you see. It's simple. Just pay what you see. But anyway.
A 7 is a 10 from POM'S. So, I mean,
yeah, I'm a bit shocked at that. I'm a bit shocked at that.
I mean, I just, to me, I'm never about pay the rule. I'd rather see consistency. So if you're not paying it from the first tackle, piss it off for the rest of the game. My biggest annoyance was like a couple of weeks ago where we do pay it and then we don't pay it, and then we do pay it, and it's just hard to know what I'm getting annoyed about. But I thought they let the game move. I mean, there was just under 40 free kicks, which is about average. So, I mean, I was quite happy with it. I thought they paid the obvious ones. And then the 50-50s, obviously, they weren't whistle happy. So I didn't mind their game, to be honest.
All right. I mean, I actually marked it here. I wrote umpire, then I put exclamation mark, dropping the ball. Like, so if I'm writing it down, I'm not happy about something. So anyway, that's enough about the umpires. They should be I've always thought they should be wearing green, the same colour as the grass, because I don't want to see them, right? They just should just camouflage into the fucking ground, mate. Anyway.
I love it. Well, I mean, there's the umpires. You've got your love from one of us, and you've got animosity from the others. Just goes to show you can't please everyone. And talking about not pleasing everyone, everyone's favourite moment, because we know that they're going to have a great game against North next week. Who's Rocco's stay at home?
Oh, mate, this was hard. And you know what? When we first discussed this, I was really up and about this, because I'm going to give it to one play every week. But I'm telling you, I'm finding it hard now. They're becoming my girls, and I don't like to do this, but I have to. That's my job. That's what I do. I have to do this. So you should have stayed at home. Look, it's a bit hard, this, but it's Downie. Downie, listen, I know you like the second ruck, and we actually had a look at what your averages were. And, you know, you only had 3 possessions. And I do remember one of them, and that possession wasn't even worth having, right? So really you had 2 possessions, and I can't even remember the other 2. Now, I know she doesn't, but that was way down in performance. And I actually wrote you a message that I said to you, is Downing playing? Is there a reason she's not on the ground, you know? And you said, no. And so, overall, I'm just going to say Downing should have stayed at home. You should have stayed at home. If you had stayed at home, there would have been no difference in the scoreboard, unfortunately. So I feel bad.
I'm looking forward to her next week having 20 touches and 42 hitouts. So
I want them to prove me wrong.
Exciting times.
I want a picture of my face there, and they like kick the ball at it, you know? Like, that's what I want. I'm hoping I can do my bit to improve these players.
Well, I mean, as we say, for negativity to exist, there must be light. They must be positive. So, POM'S player focus. And this week, player focus was exciting because I get criticised a lot that I love back people. I love defenders. Defenders are my forte, and I give them lots of love. But this week, I'm giving forwards love because I thought that game was built on forward pressure. And
Yep.
the well working of the forward line. So the first girl that I'm going to praise is none other than our Herculean hero, Taylor Harris. So
Yep.
Taylor Harris, the 7 touches, the 4 marks, the 1 goals. A match grading this year of 74.5, so that's not too bad. It means that she's just playing a little bit above what she's doing this week. And part of her graded this week was her influence of the things she does off the ball, creating space. She had that wonderful moment that we'll talk about a bit later, where she uses her body, she throws her body into shepherding, helping the girls out. And we can see here from a heat map as well, she's a vital cog. She's that girl just on the outside 50. She's that last little transition before the kick inside 50. Took a goal well. I enjoyed her game throughout the week.
She was pretty good. She was pretty good. She, as you said, she went outside of that 50. She was that link player. She took some really strong marks. And then she kicked that opportunist goal where it bounced her over. But that's what happens, man. You take that chance, you know, things happen for you, and that's what she did. And yeah, she also used her big body in a couple of incidences where she imposed herself, and that's what she's got to do, man. She's like the Casbolt, you know what I mean? Like, you've got that body, it's big, it's imposing, you have to use it. You have to make the players around you think about getting that ball when you're near it, and that's what she did. So yeah, she had a good game. She was important for us, not on goals, you know, not scoring goals. She only got that 1, but the rest of the game, I agree with you. That's a good player profile there.
Yeah, and because of her hard work, I think it's no surprise this girl featured in our votes, and that's Darcy Vescio. And I think it's a real important combination of forward craft. When your big is being imposing, when your big is being a bit of a handful for the defence, it creates opportunity for the smaller people, the smaller girls, the smaller boys in the men's game as well. And I thought Darcy Vescio, she utilised the space and the indecision of the defence supremely. And you can see her heat map is a joy to watch. She's really done the business inside 50. The 9 touches, 6 marks, 1 tackle, 3 goals, as we know. And I thought she was a real handful for that defence. And it must be a nightmare when Harris and Vescio are in this type of form, because if you stop one, as soon as that ball hits the deck, you're in trouble. And Vescio, really, she was a problem in the air, but she was also a problem when the ball hit the deck.
100%. And you could see, as you said, with the Harris, he just opened up Vescio, and she did what she had to do. But not only did she have to do, there were some exciting moments. I mean, there was even that mark in the first quarter. That was a ripper of a mark. Then she hit the post, so I wasn't too happy at that point there. I'm thinking, how could you hit the post from 20? But then when she went for a set shot, the next time, man, she readjusted and then went straight through the centre. So she was like busy. She was busy around the forward 50. You could see the Richmond defenders didn't know what to do when she was around. She was taking marks. She was just, she was on the ground, you know, and then she was going up the ground a bit to help out too. So she was good. The other one we should mention just quickly, like Stevens did some good things there too. So when Harris is doing that, Vescio and Stevens are doing their little bit. You know, Georgia G is running up, delivering that ball, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to stop us. It's going to be hard to stop us.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that was a masterclass of how a forward setup works.
Yeah.
One big causing havoc, creating space, and whatever she doesn't take, the smalls do. So Stevens, great spot. She was brilliant, and it's something that we hope translates into the men's game. Now we've got some talented smalls around, and we have got arguably one of the best keyed forwards in the comp in Harry. So exciting times if Durden, Fisher, Gibbons, Betts, etc. can follow that model in the men's game. It'll be a very exciting year ahead.
Hey, you're reading my mind. We're spending too much time together. I was just about to say, I hope the boys were watching that. I hope the boys were watching that, because that's the way you should be playing in the forward line, man. As you said, we've got the big Harry McKay there. man, he should be splitting packs. He should be imposing himself, and then we've got the Casbot also. He should be the other one, just breaking packs. And then we've got, as you mentioned, 4 or 5 Havoc this year when they come out. So, yes, I hope they were there watching, which I'm sure they were. They were all there watching.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was exciting, and it is exciting. And I suppose that leads me on to looking ahead, the new segment. So finally, the AFLW have decided to release us a fixture list. So we're not guessing who we're playing next week. So we've got North Melbourne. Now, North Melbourne were absolutely poo bucket, for a want of a better word, this weekend. Their second loss in a row. So 2 losses, 2 wins go up against each other. And that's Carlton and North. So interesting game, because this is a potentially tough one on paper, but North look very vulnerable at the moment, and they look vulnerable to what we do well, which is quick ball movement and particularly quick transition.
I agree 100%. Before last night's game, I was thinking, this is a big game. It's going to be a big test for us. And it still is. It still is, man. Like, every game's going to be a test for us, of course. But they were poo last night. So that just means that either they're going to come back in those 3 quarters next week. I can't see a problem.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, it's just really, putting them 4 quarters in, doing what we do well. And really, that should be the tactical analysis of North. Do what you do well, play to your strengths, and form suggests you'll win that game. So obviously, we have another very important game, though. Probably the biggest game any time of the year for a Carlton fan. You always look to when you're playing Essendon, and we've got a treat. We get it a couple of weeks before the season starts. So this should be an exciting one. What are you hoping to see in this game?
Listen, man, as soon as you mentioned Carlton Essendon, my heart dropped again, man. Like, I'm going into I'm starting to get excited, worried, everything, because these practice games, I know they're weird. Like, they mean something if you win, they mean nothing if you lose. You know what I mean? If you win, we're flying. If you lose, we're just trying a few things. So I don't know what to get out of it, But we're gonna get the boys to have a run, which is important. They're not going to go 100%. You know that. Everyone knows that. No one's going to go 100%. What do I want to get out of it? I want to see, we were mentioning before, we've got a few injuries, you know what I mean? We're going to get some young kids coming in, you know what I mean, and have their opportunity, you know what I mean? So let's hope they take their opportunity, you know what I mean, and maybe give themselves a chance to be round 1. So this is just about seeing what we can do, and naturally the big one is Sard and also your namesake Williams, to see what they can do, So, mate, people out there, don't expect too much. Just have a bit of fun with this, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just to get a run into our legs.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for opportunities. So we've heard a lot about Dow. He was one of the best on last week in the Interclub. So I'm looking at him. To create a conversation this time next week of, is he in the 22? Is he in the 22? And I want to see some of this. I want to see some of that attacking intent. I want to see him breaking from packs. I want the young kids, particularly those who are probably outside of the top 15, to be thinking, this is a real game. Do you know what I mean? This is, they're putting them into the hindsight. So I'm looking to people like Lockie O'Brien, players of that ilk that probably aren't in everyone's best 22, but I want to be creating a problem for me, doing this show of naming my best 22 and being going, well, Dow had 25 touches against Essendon and killed them. Like, who am I dropping?
That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. To have a competitive side, we need that. We've been saying it for ages. We need these players. now to step up. I want them, these young kids like the O'Briens and the Dow, we keep mentioning them, but let's be serious, man. They were top 10 picks only 4 years ago, I think. So, mate, I expect big things from you this year. I want you to do the Rudy. You've watched the movie Rudy? Has everyone seen the movie Rudy, mate? Where it doesn't matter if it was practice or whatever, he would go 100%, you know what I mean? And the coaches loved it. That's what I want to see off these kids, you know what I mean? I want to see them take their opportunity, mate, because I'm telling you, there might not be too many opportunities, man. Someone might take your spot, and then that's it. There's Stocker still. I don't know if he's going to play, you know. Man, there's like 4 or 5 players, and they're going for maybe one position. Do you understand? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. It's all about watching these young kids, watching Sardan Williams, and then hopefully, I'm not even going to say it, I'll hopefully get through the game. That's it, man. That's it.
Well, I mean, as they say in the old firm, there is never a friendly between these two great rivals. And
that's true.
You can't tell me the result doesn't matter, because I tell you what, when we beat Essendon, I've got 3 or 4 Essendon friends. I will be getting stuck into them after this game, and they will get stuck into me should we lose. So
yeah, a bit of friendly banter. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course we want to win. Of course we want to smash them. It's at our home game. It's at our home ground too. Of course we want to smash those Essendon cheats there, you know. So. Of course we want to do it, but yeah. So look, it's going to be good, and I'm wrapped that it's going to get streamed, so we can at least have a look at it, and yeah, and we can see what they can do, and maybe see what kind of structure they're going to play and how everyone's going. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
And then we've talked about the worst the AFL has to offer. Let's talk about the best that the AFL has to offer, and that is our very own Jumper Punch 19th person. So that encompasses what me and Rocco think is about the club. Someone that personifies the club in some way from the fan base, because we know that each and every one of us on game day is that extra incentive, that extra person to lead the club across the line. And this week it was tough. So last week we had John Allen from WA. This week, I've plumped for none other than Victoria's darling, and that is Nick Wishart. And the reason that Nick Wishart has won this award is not for his amazing work he does with the Carlton cheer squad, not for his amazing work he does with Carlton Pride and all the other endeavours that Carlton have, that he's a part of, but this one's more of a personal one. This week, obviously, Blue Abroad went down because Mark Zuckerberg and the Australian government are having a little bit of a willy waving contest to see who's the bigger man. But it was Nick Wishart who reached out. He pushed people towards our other mediums and really got around us. And Nick Wishart also works for another Carlton show like us, Carlton Live. He spends a lot of time with that. So you could deem we're rivals in the same department. And I think that that's what it represents. It's about being bigger than what you're interested in. It's about the great of the club. So to me, for all your off-field work, Nick, and also what you do, you're a fantastic person. Everyone tune in as well to Carlton Live's Heatley stand that he hosts with the lovely Shannon. It's a fantastic wrap-up. Real great people over there. So Nick Wishart, you are our 19th person.
Well done, Nick, mate. And I have seen his stuff, and you're right, this week he really got around everyone, and that's a great choice, mate. And yeah, because we had a little bit of a scare this week with the Facebook. I didn't really understand it, but there are other people who have really been affected by this because Facebook is their only medium. And you're right. He can be a rival, but what you've got to understand is that especially the Carlton people here, we're all working together towards one. And it's like when you go and buy a car, if there's a place where there's got like 20 car yards, not about each individual, all of us just pulling together, and that's what we've done, and that's what Nick done. So that's a great choice. 19th man this week, and everybody keep pushing this 19th man. We want to do it, man. We want to come out at the end of this and saying we've done a great thing, because we are the 19th man. We are the 19th man. Remember that.
Spot on, spot on. And then finally, we always end on a rant. So, Rocco, what is your rant this week?
All right. It was pretty hard this week. I was like, I can't always be angry about stuff, can I? But now I'm expected to do something. So it's not going to be a big one. But first of all, the best and fairest this week, you know, like, I don't get it, Blues. What are you doing, mate? Like, really? Where was it held? Like, where was it held? I saw the interview with Wiedering. Was that held in his backyard? That was ridiculous, man. Like, how can this bloke be honoured the way he was like that? It was just ridiculous, you know what I mean? Why was it so late? Why was it so late? Like, what are we doing, mate? We waited. Oh, we wanted to honour Simpson and Cruiser. We could have done a million things to honour them. Why do we have to wait for them? It's almost round one, and then we're doing it. So I think the fans got a bit robbed with the whole event. You know what I mean? We kind of missed out. Well, I think that there was round 12 update and then the final update. Like, we didn't know what was going on. Like, I don't know, man. Like, smarten up, Blues, man. Seriously. And then since we're talking about the best and fairest, I just want to say something about Wheats, right? Wheats is a great man, mate. He's a great man, right? He committed, right, in 2025, right? This bloke's committed to the side. He was put in the leadership group last year, right? Then, right? Then what happens, right? When he does his speech, none of it's about him. There is none of it about him. He congratulates everyone. I'm just going to bring something up here that I saw. Hold on. This is great. Right. And then he says in the speech, he goes, I can't get my job done without you. So I'm going to accept this on behalf of both of us because I think you deserve it just as much as me. And he's talking about Liam Jones there. This bloke says that this should be like shared between the both of them. That is a great leader. I'm telling you, I've said this before, Wheats, it can't be done this year, but he's got to be our captain, mate. I just wrote a few things down here. Great leaders don't set out to become leaders, right? They set out to make a difference. It's never about the role. It's always about the goal. That's what Wheats is. Leadership it's not a title. It's a behaviour. Again, that's Wheaters. And the last one, respect isn't given. It is earned. This is all Wheaters. Now, I'm not singling out anyone from Carlton, but there might be a couple of blokes out there, right, who should be looking up at Wheaters and going, that's what a leader does, mate. This is what a leader does. So my rant is to the people out there who think that you're bigger than the club, mate, look at this bloke, a deserving winner and a real leader of our club.
Here, I think Wiedering is the perfect person to represent Carlton on and off the field. I think he lets his work do the talking, and he's very quick to praise the greater good and the greater collective. And I did think that was a beautiful touch by him to mention Liam Jones, because I think that they are a pair, aren't they? Yep. And I think they've played like that all year. Last year, when one of them made a mistake, it was invariably the other one who fixed it and let them have a clean slate. So, no, spot on, Rocco. I like that, Ran.
Yeah, no, that's it. And you're right, man. Like, a lot of people bag Jones, you know what I mean? But there you go. The best and fairest has said, like, to everyone, shut up. He's very important to this, and he's important to me. And as I said, the main thing there was he mentioned everybody else, man. He knows it's not about him, you know? And this is what we need from everyone. We need from the boot stutter. I don't know who the boot stutter is, but we need it from the boot stutter to the captain, to the 19th man, to Blue Abroad. Everyone has to give 100% and think of the bigger cause. And Wheats is that, man. Wheats, you are a legend, mate. I love the kid.
Spot on,
you believe that I call people kids? Oh my God.
Well, we are both getting old, so I mean, yeah. So, spot on, Rocco. if you don't take anything out of this show, take them words, because I can't agree with Rocco anymore. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter if you think Carlton should play 3 toes or 1 toe. At the end of the day, we all want to win. And we'll be back next week to celebrate 2 wins against Essendon and North Melbourne.
That's it.
We'll see you all next week. Go Blues.
Go Blues.